Students, in lesson 3.11, we are going to work on some problem-solving strategies, and it's really nice because it's going to be working on adding and subtracting money, which is something that we've threaded through this whole entire chapter. So it's something you have exposure to already, and you're going to feel pretty good about it. So we're going to add and subtract money. Our essential question for this lesson, boys and girls, is how can the strategy make a table help you organize and keep track of your bank account balance? Now, bank account balance, boys and girls, you have to think about this. I just want to give you a real life situation to compare this to. When I get paid from the Chicago Public School District, and I get paid every other Friday, they deposit my check into my bank account. So when they deposit, is my balance going to increase or decrease? It would increase because I'm receiving money. However, if I decided to go to Starbucks during lunch and get another coffee for myself, I'm not going to be increasing money. I'm going to be withdrawing or decreasing money from my account. So that's just something to keep in mind when we do this problem together. So we have the real world unlock the problem. At the end of May, Mrs. Freeman had an account balance of $442.37. Account balance, boys and girls, just means how much money was in her account. So I'm going to write that on the side. Next, since then, she has written a check for $63.92 and made a deposit of $350. Boys and girls, if she wrote a check, that means that she gave away money. When you think about giving away money, you're going to be subtracting. Boys and girls, if she has a deposit, perhaps she got paid by a friend or paid from her job. A deposit means that she's going to increase her money, and that should prompt you to think about addition. Mrs. Freeman says that she has $729.45 in her account. Make a table to determine if Mrs. Freeman is correct. So boys and girls, we are going to use our work mats to help us solve this problem. And you'll see that our work mat in our textbook reflects the one that we use in class. So first we read the problem. What do I need to find? Well, boys and girls, I need to find if Mrs. Freeman's checkbook balance is correct. So if Mrs. Freeman's checkbook balance is correct, that's what we need to find because that's what it's asking us to make the table for. Second, boys and girls, in our next box, what information do I need to use? I need to use the starting account balance, the amount of the deposit, and the amount of the check. Lastly, how will I use the information? I need to make a table and use the information to subtract the amount of the check and add the amount of the deposit to find the correct balance. So let's solve our problem. So we have Mrs. Freeman's checkbook. So we have our May balance. So the check she had was for $63.92. So we're going to subtract that from her May balance. So when we subtract that, we're going to just go straight down the line and subtract it. 7 minus 2 would be 5. Can we do 3 minus 9? No, so we're going to have to regroup. What I'm actually going to do, boys and girls, is I'm going to draw this a little bit bigger on the side so you can see my work so it's not so smushed over there. So boys and girls, we can't do 3 minus 9, so we're going to go over, and we're going to try to regroup from the next place value, which is the 1s. We can't do 2 minus 3, so we actually have to go back over into the following place value, which is the 10s. We can't do 4 minus 6, but we can borrow and regroup from the hundreds place. So the 4 becomes a 3. Then we have a 14. Now we're going to borrow 1 from that place, and that becomes a 13. Then we get a 12. That becomes an 11. I'm going to change the color on that so you can see it. and then we can regroup, and then we have a 13 over here, and now the 13 will become a 12, and then we have 17. So now, boys and girls, we can do 17 minus 2. So you'll see that I cleaned up my math here a little bit, boys and girls. What we're going to do is we're going to do 13 minus 9. And we get 4. So I'm going to write down the 4 in the next place, bring down the decimal. And then we have 11 minus 3. We get 8. 13 minus 6. We get 7. And then when we have 3 minus nothing, we get 3. So when we look there, boys and girls, the money that was left over after we subtracted the check was $378.49. Remember, this is the same amount there. It's just a little bit bigger, and you can actually see it. So now, boys and girls, we know that now that we have this new balance over here, we're going to add the new check. So what I'm going to do is right underneath our new balance, I'm going to add my check of $350. This is pretty easy to add this one up, boys and girls. 8 plus 0 is 8. 7 plus 5 is 12. We have to regroup the 1. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. We have $728.45. So, boys and girls, I just did all of this on the side, but you can do this simply in the box here on the below. So we say that her correct balance after her check, which she withdrew money, and then her deposit, which money was put back into her account, is $728.45. So, boys and girls, the next question it said was, how can you determine if her answer is reasonable? What we could say is, I can use estimation, so I would use estimation to determine if my answer was reasonable. Now, boys and girls, we're going to try another problem like this. You're going to see that there's less information in the graphic organizer, but we're going to complete it in the same manner just like we did the other one. So Nick is buying juice for himself and 5 friends. So think about it. If it's Nick and 5 friends, we notice how many bottles of juice are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. How much does 6 bottles of juice cost? Make a table to find the cost of 6 bottles of juice, and we're going to use the graphic organizer below to help us solve the problem. So first it says, what do I need to find? I need to find how much 6 bottles of juice will cost. Next, what information do I need to use? So I need to use the price of each bottle of juice and the number of bottles being bought. So finally, boys and girls, the last question is, how will I use the information? Well, so I will make a table and then add the amount per bottle until I find the cost of 6 bottles of juice. So boys and girls, we're going to solve the problem and we're going to create our table. So we're going to create a table and we're going to make sure that we label the table as we create it. So I'm just going to create a 2-sided table. On one side, we're going to do the bottles of juice. And on the next side, we're going to put the total, and I'm going to put in dollars, okay? So boys and girls, if we get 1 bottle of juice, it's going to cost us $1.25. Now we know that we're going to do 6 bottles of juice. So we're going to do 6 bottles of juice. So that's why our table is going to have up until 6 bottles. So we know that the cost for each bottle of juice is $1.25. So that means that each time that we add a bottle of juice, we also have to add $1.25 in our sequence. So $1.25 plus $1.25, boys and girls, would give me $2.50. Now, from $2.50, I'm going to have to add another $1.25, and I get $3.75. So you'll notice each time I'm adding $1.25. So $1.25 plus $3.75 is $5. $5 plus another $1.25 would give us $6.25. And lastly, $6.25 plus $1.25 would give us $7.50. So the total cost of the 6 bottle of juices, I go up to my chart, which I made the strategy, draw a chart to solve your problem. Notice, boys and girls, this looks just like the sequences that we did in the previous problem. But rather than write them in a row, we wrote them in a chart. And notice, boys and girls, these are all terms in a sequence, but now we put these terms in a chart. So the cost of the total of the juice would be $7.50.